Good morning, this is Magistrate Boykins. One moment. Okay, good morning, this is Magistrate Boykins. We're on the record in 2019 DR 339 Stetzer and Stetzer. All right. Is there a counsel on the record?
No counsel that I'm aware of, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, so we are here regarding, it's a status conference to find out whether or not there has been a registration in a supervised facility. Mr. Stetzer?
I was given a list by Carla Center for supervised therapeutic visits, and which I've enclosed as an attachment, or I've sent to the court as an attachment, and I've had no response from them. I've had no ability to set up visits because of that.
Okay, well, you need to check some other location because there's other people that do supervised visits.
They're all full. Everyone I've tried, besides those, they're all full. Not taking new. I needed to be interviewed by the therapeutic visiting center, the ThriveWorks. I needed to be interviewed by them. They never interviewed me. They based their notice, the ThriveWorks paperwork that I included, they based that information without ever talking to me.
So, if that's what you want to contact them, you're welcome to do that. But
I've attempted, and the woman that I put in there also. I've contacted the woman that made that statement, and she's no longer with them, and I can no longer get a hold of her. Therefore, and I can't get a hold of ThriveWorks through any number that I attempt.
Okay, well, I'm not changing the order in this matter, so you're going to have to
Well,
find
that's
somebody
fine.
else.
It's been 3 years. It's been 3 years since I've seen my son. In 11, he'll be 18. It'll be all good. We're just working towards that.
Okay, well, so is there anything else? You're not expecting the court to do anything else today, then?
I want to see my son. I can't do it. Let her set up visits. She's the one that has...
No, because that's what was said before, and the last time we were here, all you did was complain that she wasn't doing the job, so I ordered you to do it. So now it's on you to provide visits.
I've been set to set up visits this entire time for 3 years. She just does not she is non-compliant and in contempt of court and does not contact them.
Okay.
By me contacting a visiting center, she just won't contact them, and then we're right back here. Put it up to her. Let her set them up for once.
That's not what's going on. So
she's never been.
You were ordered to do it and provide to the court that a status that has been set up so she can go and register at the facility. I can't make her register at the facility that you've done. Well,
let her set up the visits. That's what I'm saying, Judge. Your Honor, I've been
let her set them up.
It's been put on my plate for over 3 years to set them up. All she does is not respond, goes to non-compliant and in contempt, which is a long past matter. That's all she's going to do. She just won't contact them, and therefore we're right back where we are. Your Honor, can I please?
No, because I'm not going to sit here and listen to you tell me the same thing that we've already heard. The order is that you set it up, contact. Once it's set up, then you can send something, a status to the court, and the court will make sure that she takes care of it. But it's not been set up by you, so I'm not going to force her to go and set it up. She's not the one trying to get visits, you are. So once you get it set up someplace, then the court can force her to do it. But I'm not going to force her to go and set it up. Because you're the one that wants a visit. She's not.
This is better than I dreamed. This is better than I dreamed.
So do you understand that, Mr. Stetzer?
Enforce your order, please. Enforce your order, please. In order to comply with the court orders and provide him 4 visits, which I had set up for 3 years through Carla's Center. She never did it. She never did her application. This is what I'm saying. She won't do it. I've been ordered to set him up the whole time. Let her do it. Make her do it, so then she has to set them up. This is a two-way street here, Your Honor. I can't. The court has eliminated me from it. I can't do it through therapeutic visiting centers because I was never interviewed by ThriveWorks. You don't get that. I can't set up visits.
You can set up visits as long as the court has ordered you to set them up.
Not until I'm interviewed by ThriveWorks, which I cannot contact. Now what? I can't contact them.
If you can't contact them, then what makes you think that she can contact them?
Because that's part of her school. That's part of my son's school. She goes through that therapist. Oh my goodness.
Ms. Stetzer, is your child still at TriedWorks? Sorry, Miss Kirchhoff, is your son still going through TriedWorks?
Hold on 1 second. 1 second. No, thank you.
Oh, and we're probably being audio and videotaped.
Here, actually, I had attempted to set up a visitation through ThriveWorks Visitation when they did our intake meeting and received our files on Aaron's IEPs and his Social Security award letter based on the trauma he sustained while we were being trafficked by Mr. Stetzer, and a ton of other therapy notes from schools and therapists and whatnots. ThriveWorks declined to do intake with Mr. Stetzer. And as for his school, that was front range behavioral until actually pretty recently, summer vacation and all.
So are you currently set up anywhere for supervised visits?
No, like I said, when I attempted to set them up, they deemed the visits to be too dangerous and traumatic to go through with. It would be an abuse to my son to have contact with someone who used to beat him regularly, who trafficked him, who had to go around the homeless to grab money and presents to give to him.
All right, so let's not go there. What the court will do is check to see if there is a ThriveWorks contact information that can be provided, and if so, provide it. Otherwise, the court will issue an order or leave the order in place if there's nothing that can be done here. So that's
so my son's going to turn 18. So my son's just going to turn 18. That's what you're saying. I've never been injured by ThriveWorks. I asked ThriveWorks over and over. I emailed them over and over to interview me. They never did. They declined. So how am I supposed to set up visits through a center that declines to interview me?
Anyway, the court will.
No, not anyway. No, how do I do that? No, how do I set up visits through a visiting center that declines to interview me? That's a valid question.
So according to what I've heard, is that you haven't been able to contact them, or they haven't gotten back in contact with you. Is that correct?
And they did his interview January 4th. That was back in January. They were supposed to contact me per her ex-attorney, Miss Pesh. They were supposed to contact me for an interview. They didn't. Instead they released that letter and denied visits and just cut it all off and just said, nope, we're not doing it.
All right. So what the court will do is make an effort to contact ThriveWorks and then issue an order based on that.
Why can't she just follow the court order and send me the contact information through Talking Parents, which she's supposed to be in contact with, which she hasn't been in a couple of years.
Okay, because you just testified that the child isn't at ThriveWorks anymore. So I'm sure they're not going to just give information. So again,
no.
The court will check to see what's going on with ThriveWorks and then issue an order accordingly.
Yeah, well, what you're basically saying, I'm going to see my son when he's 18. Thank you very much. I've been fighting this for over 3 years. I'm in court.
Is there anything else regarding the order?
Other than she's not compliant and in contempt of court? No, and neither one of us were sworn under oath again.
So you want me to swear you under oath so you can tell me the same thing? Yeah, I can swear both you under oath. This was a status conference to try to make a determination.
I know the last time.
The child has, whether or not there's been a registration for supervised visit.
Yeah, and the last order that you made was based on information supplied to the court by a person that was not sworn under oath.
Okay.
And I completely disagree with that. And
that's fine.
It's invalid. It's invalid. It's illegal.
Raise your hand right now. If both of the parties have raised their hand, I will swear you in. Do you swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that the testimony that you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Mr. Stetzer?
I swear and affirm.
Ms. Kirchhoff?
I swear and affirm.
So, based on your
I'll watch
testimony...
I'll see it on video later. Yeah, it'll be on YouTube later.
Yes, on your testimony, you have made an effort and you have not been able to register for
at all
supervised visits.
Not at all, because of the ThriveWorks letter. It cuts me off from everybody, and I cannot get a hold of them in any way, shape, or form. I have no ability to set up visits, and this is being enabled and allowed by Denver District Court.
Thank you.
If I may, I actually have an explanation for that. ThriveWorks has changed its name, and I'm pretty sure its office location. I don't remember where to, but his school was a totally different organization. That was Front Range Behavioral, just off of downtown Denver. But, now he's getting into public school. So, ThriveWorks and Front Range Behavioral are two completely separate entities. And ThriveWorks has, undergone a rebranding recently, although I don't remember the specific details.
That was one other thing that was ordered a couple of years ago to supply me with visits through his counselors at his school when he was way back at Clayton. That was something ordered by Jennifer Torrington. That never happened. That would be an option. But either way, just want to see my boy. Have for 3 years.
What school is the child currently visiting, attending, Ms. Kirchhoff?
She won't tell you this is the reason she's under sanctions right now.
I don't feel at all comfortable revealing that information to Mr. Stetzer. I've submitted evidence to the court in a previous hearing that Mr. Stetzer stalked, threatened, and harassed Front Range Behavioral when Aaron was attending there in an attempt to take Aaron from the premises. I submitted evidence of that during a previous hearing. I showed it up on the screen and all, since civilians can't submit via WebEx.
The question that I have is, have you provided to the court where the child is going to school?
I don't feel at all comfortable making Aaron's school a target to Thomas Stetzer's continued harassment, stalking, threats, and kidnapping attempts. If you want another mass shooting in your schools, if you want another mass shooting in your schools, I'll be sure and let Mr. Stetzer know where my son's attending. But I'm not
So,
trying to
the
have a
question was
mass
not-
shooting going
The
on in a
question
public
wasn't
school
whether
today.
or not you let Mr. Stetzer know. The question was whether or not the court is informed as to where the child is in school.
I would be glad to notify the court, except I know they would tell Mr. Stetzer first thing, and that place would become a target to a violent attack. I am not
Okay, look,
doing that.
You can stop just going on about this. No, so what I'm going to do
That's what it's
is
been
order
for-
you. Okay, you either. Can you just listen for a chance? So, Ms. Kirchup, you need to provide to the court. You don't need to provide to Mr. Stetzer. You need to provide to the court where the child is in school. So you can do that by filing it with the court, or you can do that by coming down to the court, but the court needs to know where the child is in school. So what the court intends to do is to check on the ThriveWorks situation and then issue an order based on that. Or a therapist or something at the school. But once the court has checked into it, then the court will issue an order. All right. Is there anything else based on the order?
Is it possible to submit documents, such as telling the court about my son's school, etc., via WebEx? Since Mr. Stetzer has a habit of repetitively posting motions to the court and practically living at the self-help room, it's not safe for me to go there at all anyway.
So you're saying that Mr. Stetzer is preventing you from going to the self-help center?
I never know when he's going to be there filing another motion, and I don't need to be attacked while I'm trying to inform the court of what's going on.
Okay, I understand that, but the court's also not going to say, oh, no, you don't have to do it, because you don't know. I can tell you that we don't know either. And there's no way that I'm going to say, oh, don't do it because you don't know.
Right, that's why I'm asking if it's...
Either find somebody else that can file the motion or file the information with the court, or you can do it yourself, but it needs to be filed within 7 days.
Right, that's why I'm asking if I could file it, digitally instead of going in person to the courthouse and putting my life in danger.
If you have registered with or opted in on e-filing, then you can file the information through that means.
Thank you very much. I will definitely do that.
All right, well, if there's nothing else, then we will be in recess, and I will provide an order based on the information that the court finds out. So have a good rest of your day.
Sweet, sweet. Wow, I had this meeting planned and I didn't even need the plan. I thought I would have to educate this judge on the dangers of allowing a serial rapist and career trafficker anywhere near a child, let alone a child who's been previously abused by him. I thought I would have had to explain to them why this is a very bad idea. Again, like I have every other judge at every other hearing. But in this instance, I found that it's better to just let the idiot scream and rant at the judge and make accusations rather than adding my 2 cents. And when I did add my 2 cents, it was to be helpful and informative and let the court know that, oh yeah, I tried to reach out to this visitation center and they found out that it was a horribly dangerous idea to let the psychopath near the child. And and that they changed their name and did a whole rebranding and all that. It's Googleable. I don't remember the details, but it's Googleable. So, I'm here to help. I ain't doing nothing wrong. Oh, and by the way, can I file things via WebEx? I plan to file more than just a school, even though I told the judge that it's summer vacation and there's no school going on. But anyway, when I file any pertinent information with the court, I could do so via WebEx now, so that's fantastic. I don't have to drive back to Denver to file stuff and get jumped in the hallway because Stetzer lives at the courthouse. So, cat fight in the courtroom, and now there's a cat fight in the room here. But anyway, so I also thought I'd have to educate the judge or magistrate on why she's the third person who's been assigned to this case. As you know, if you've been watching this retweet thread of documentation and my YouTube channel, that the two previous judges fled the case as soon as Mr. Stetzer revealed that they were being recorded and documented in accordance with my First Amendment right to document corrupt public officials as they attempt to enact genocidal laws and policies like slavery and rape and human trafficking against certain members of the population like women or disabled people or folks who can get pregnant. So I thought I'd have to give the judge an education. Instead, I could just sit back, chill, and let Stetzer blow up at her and rant and rave and scream like he's been doing. I do actually have to hand it to Magistrate Boykins that she's the first judge who's been assigned to this case who hasn't just pandered to his screaming and did the soothing mommy, oh, it'll be okay, we'll give you everything you want as soon as we can. She's the first one who's not having any of his attitude. So that's cool. She might even, be starting to learn somewhat about why we were so desperate to leave to begin with and why we're so happy to be gone. And, considering the snafu nature of our relocation, we are doing a whole lot better than we ever did while under Stetzer's command. So, court went better than I would have dreamed. I'm gonna have to file a change of address too, so I know about any upcoming court hearings. But since I'm filing it and not Susan Pesh, who I also documented being completely complacent and part of the whole legal corruption in Colorado. She's an active part of it because it gives her job security and keeps her client list long. It's like, wow. So swatting them like flies with my camera. But being able to file all this stuff remotely gives me safety, which I haven't had in 3.5 years. I haven't been able to file my own motions. But, now that I can file my own address change to the court and my change of venue and all that other good stuff, I can do it remotely. I can also check that little box that says to keep my address confidential from the trafficker because of the risk of violence occurring and stalking and kidnapping and all that good stuff. So, I have a lot of advantages going on here. And explaining to the court, my willingness to do the therapeutic visitation and that I actually did an intake meeting with them and submitted a ton of documents and paperwork and good stuff to them. And then they elected to shut down the case because of the dangers inherent. I took the initiative and they shut it down with 1,000,001, ironclad reasons. And to hear Stetzer admit that he's not getting visitation places to take his case because of the shutdown from ThriveWorks, that was a beautiful thing. Like, straight up, that was amazing. So, we're gonna be okay. We're gonna get through this. I'll get the case transferred to Montana. I'm sure they'll be delighted that, you know, it's gonna be somebody else's problem and that Boykins could be relieved. But I don't know how she's going to react if she heard anything about me filming. You know, the other 2 judges assigned to the case fled the case as soon as they found out I was sorry about the phone call interruption there. Telemarketer for senior care. I'm only about 30 years too young, but thanks. So, anywho's, yeah, pretty much said what I needed to say here. You know, in summary, Stetzer made an ass of himself in court again. You'll love to see it, or hear it in this case. This is the first time in a while he hasn't pretended to be at work. Meanwhile, I'm wearing my products for my business. And this is the first judge who is not having Stetzer's attitude and demands and, you know, tomfoolery, as it were. So that's pretty cool. And I have the opportunity to submit all the documents, motions, and information that I need to submit. Once I register for that e-filing, what's the thing, I'll go find that. But knowing that it's available and it's not getting shut down anytime soon is pretty immense blessing. So, gonna kick this case's ass from the relative safety and comfort of my hotel room. Getting an apartment soon. Don't worry. Have a good one. Peace out.